We're talking about tires today. We got new tires. I feel like Lieutenant Dan, except I got new tires. Hi, I'm Billy Dietrich, sprint car mechanic and driver. I've been around racing my whole life and it's pretty much all I know. We created this channel to share the good and the bad and everything in between. Our crew may not be the most experienced or professional, but we get it done and we have a good time doing it. We'll show you what it's really like racing weekly at some of the best tracks in central Pennsylvania. I'm also going to share some sprint car tutorials, mechanics, parts, and whatever else I feel like. So like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And enjoy the ride. Yeah, boy. Hot topic all off season's been tires. New tire. We're getting new tire. Well, we finally got it. We got our new tires yesterday. And if you're new to the channel, if you're new to sprint car racing, the big thing the last year or so has been the tire shortage. And then it turned into tires being limited to what you can actually buy and tire tokens per night. And then we caught wind in the off season or towards the end of the last season that there might be a new tire coming. So we finally got it here in Pennsylvania. We were able to get new tires last week, and we got ours this week, and we got them mounted up. Now, if you're familiar with the sprint car situation, you'll know that we've been running the same Hoosier tire for the last probably 5 years or so. And then before that, we were on a Goodyear tire. And then before that, we were on Hoosier tires. And it's been a constant tire roll where we've had to run a spec tire per se on the rear axle. And we also have to run a Hoosier tire on the front now as well. So we've been on the same Hoosier tire for the last, like I said, probably 5 years or so. And then last year, they decided they were going to make a new mold, come out with a new tire, which is what we have here. And I'll go through the differences in the tires and what the old one was versus what the new one was. There is. So they come out with a new right rear and left rear, as we can see here. I got them behind me. These are the new tires. You can see the tread is different. And we have the old tires here. And the biggest difference is obviously what the tread pattern is. They redesigned the whole tread pattern, and the reason they did it this way is now the tire is non-directional. So you can flip the tire either direction and run it, where the old tires they had some camber built into them. You weren't technically supposed to run them the other way, although a lot of guys did. The tread pattern itself was different from side to side. And a lot of guys just ran them one way and then you didn't flip them around. Where the new tire, right and left, they're non-directional. The pattern is equal on both sides. You can flip it around and run it either way, kind of like it was years ago. The tires were evenly blocked on both sides. Along with that, we have a harder compound. The actual compound is still a 15 per the marking on the tires, but it's definitely harder than our other 15s. This is called a D15A, where our other tire was an H15. I believe it's 4 points harder on the durometer, and you can definitely feel the hardness in it. Something else that you can see different is it's got the Hoosier on the right side, the outside I should say. Turn around, Hoosier on both sides. All of our old tires didn't have it like that. You always had the Hoosier facing out. The inside no Hoosier, because it was only supposed to be on one way. The Hoosier out. Left rear is the same way. They made them non-directional. Same deal on the left side. You got the outside with the Hoosier. I always put mine on with the chalk mark out, and I really don't know that it matters. But here it says Hoosier on this side as well. Some people are saying the serial number or the code should be facing towards the inside of the car, towards the inside of the track. So You could mount them that way if you wanted. So that's the obvious differences in the tire, what you can visually see. What you can't see is there's supposed to be no camber built into the tire at all, where the other tire had camber. The outside part of the tire was, in a sense, larger than the inside of the tire. It seemed like that's changed a couple times over the years, where you could visually see it a lot, and then sometimes you couldn't, where the new tires are just basically flat all the way across. As far as the rest of the tire and how it's going to perform, we don't know yet. Nobody's ran these tires yet. We were supposed to race last weekend at Port Royal, and that got rained out. Now tomorrow night at the Grove will be the first time running them, and then Saturday at Lincoln. And it's a big question mark for everybody as to how the tire is going to work, what you should do to the tire with all these holes in the tire. It's it's going to be different as far as grooving them, cutting them blocks in half. Or if the old tire, you had more meat there around the block just to cut them, open them up and sipe them. So that'll be a trial and error for a lot of people, including us. And there's some talk about the left rear as far as whether it'll grow, stand up while you're racing or not. That'll be, we're yet to determine any of that until we get on the track and get racing. So that's the skinny on the actual tire. As far as availability, as of right now, in Pennsylvania, we are limited. We had a window of last 2 weeks we could go and get an allotment of tires. We could get X amount of rights, X amount of lefts. One note to add to that, they did make another option for the right rear, which is a medium compound, which they've had that compound all along. It's harder than this. It is the same tread design as the new tire. So we elected not to get that tire because we really never have a use for a harder tire, because this tire is already really hard. But no word yet as far as moving forward, whether the tire shortage is going to stick with us, if there will be a availability problem. We just don't know yet until we get up and get rolling. The price of the tires have gone up, which everything's gone up since last year. And hopefully that doesn't go up anymore, but only time will tell.
So you don't want me to say I got to shit?
You have to shit?
I'm going to go shit right now.
Heather, he has to shit.
I don't know why I picked this up. I'm going to go shit. Don't gotta worry about me talking. Cover the phone.
All right, I'll cover the phone. Well, now you know what's going on with the tire situation. At least you know as much as we know. We'll have more input for you in the coming weeks once we get these tires on the track and see how they actually work. Tread pattern definitely different. They feel different. They look different. So hopefully it improves the racing. That's what all people were looking for. Better racing and a tire that lasts longer. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment below. Tell us what you think. And yeah, tell all your friends and keep an eye out, because we're going to have a follow-up video once we get some time in on these tires, and we'll give you an update on what we've learned. Thanks, everybody.